we have to give you a little prescription. Dr. Batra is going to give us one to get a plumper pout without seeing the doc.
Yes, and so overfilling the lips or over kind of lining the lips to add that plumper look is all the rage right now. But most people are using kind of a darker liner, which creates a harsh look. So one small doctor's prescription is to use an invisible or nude colored liner. And the idea is it's just going to keep your lipstick in place. So you put that there so you don't get feathering or bleeding. Use your regular lip color. That'll still give you that full look without actually a harsh line, and it'll still kind of open things up. So filler-free, invisible or nude lip liner.
Thank you for that tip. Today's doctor's prescription comes straight from Dr. Judy's Instagram. Take it away.
All right. Well, we're always talking about how to keep our bodies young, but what about keeping your mind young? Go back to being a kid again. I think that this is like one of my most favorite tips that I use all the time. We're all kids at heart, guys.
Yes,
and it's
we
just
are.
so fun to rediscover that joy that you had. Remember when we were kids and we would just play hopscotch for 5 hours and it would be interesting? That was cool.
It was cool.
And I want us to all do that again. And so you can do anything to try to rediscover that. You can try coloring, you can play with bubbles. That is so fun. I try to do something every single day.
Think about it.
Dr. Travis is very distracted right now. See, as kids too, we get so distracted.
I love this.
I mean,
Your advice is so profound.
Think about it.
I love this.
When we were kids,
Yeah.
not a care in the world,
Not a
just
care in the
great
world.
attitude and no stress.
Yeah.
And it's tougher for kids now.
It is tougher for kids now. But you know, there was a really fun study where they showed people abstract pictures and they showed adults what the abstract picture was and they asked, what do you think this is? And adults had such boring answers. And kids had the best answers. You know, we have better imaginations when we're children. We're not as confined by, look, Dr. Travis is so distracted. I love it, but that's the whole point. You know, give yourself a break from the daily stresses. Remember what it's like to be a kid again and have a good time.
What can you add to your diet to decrease your risk of skin cancer by up to 15%? Foods with Dr. Batra.
Vitamin A.
Woo! Let's give it up for vitamin A.
Yes, so this is actually a really interesting study that was just published in JAMA Dermatology. They looked at over 125,000 people and looked at their long-term risk of developing the second most common type of skin cancer, which is called a squamous cell carcinoma. And they found that those with the highest dietary intake of vitamin A had a 15% lower risk of SCC. And so this is really interesting because vitamin A is known to help promote skin cell differentiation, turnover, growth. It's something that we give as a synthetic form to people at very high risk of skin cancer. But the problem with vitamin A medications is they have a lot of side effects, like dry lips, dry eyes, hair loss, sun sensitivity. And so in this case, none of these people with the higher dietary vitamin A had these side effects, but they did have the protective effect. So super easy, carrots, kale, sweet potatoes, eggs. I mean, all of these are things that you should be incorporating in your diet anyway. And if it decreases your risk of the most common type of cancer in the United States, I really feel like it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely, and you do not need to study to get this A.
Unless you're
Eat
nitty
those
like me.
veggies.
But I will say one thing as a side note, because I was mentioning those synthetic forms, too much vitamin A can be dangerous. Remember, for men, the recommended daily amount is 3,000 IU. For women, it's 2,200 IU. So these shouldn't get you over that by any stretch, but do take it from the diet, not from supplements.
And I love how the food you put in your body can protect you from the outside of your body. Anyone having trouble falling asleep at night? Most likely from time to time. Today's doctor's prescription, 3 foods to satisfy your late night snack fix. It's gonna help you catch more Z's. Food is medicine once again, folks.
Yes, I love
First
this.
up, cherries.
Yeah.
Why? Tart cherries, naturally high in melatonin. That's a sleep hormone that helps your body fall asleep. Next up, kiwi. I love the way kiwi tastes, loaded with serotonin, not to mention high in vitamin C and antioxidants. That's gonna boost that immune system we talked about. Last but not least, walnuts. Great for brain health overall, but they're also full of sleep-enhancing amino acids. So it's all about healthy snacks before bed.
Yep.
It'll help you sleep better. It'll help all these other things we've talked about. Food is medicine.
The theme
Have a
of today.
walnut.
I love a yummy
It's
snack.
nappy time.
I know.
You know,
Time to get a little nap.
and we talked about the brain earlier. What does a walnut look like? It kind of looks like the
Kinda
brain.
looks like a brain.
Next time you're at the grocery store, don't pass up this vegetable that is power packed with vitamins A, C, and K. I'm talking about Rapini. What? What?
Come on, let's give it up for Rapini.
Looks like broccoli, but rapini is actually related closer to the turnip. One serving has 34% of your daily value of vitamin C, 21% of your vitamin A, 180% of vitamin K of the recommended amount. It's often referred to as broccoli rabe, spelled R-A-B-E.
They serve a lot of this in Europe.
They do. And, you know, I think vitamin K is a fun one to talk about because we don't talk about the fat-soluble vitamins very much, but this one's really important.
A, D, E, and K?
Yeah, it's
There you
important
go.
in blood clotting, important in bone health. So a lot of data that this is actually really worth adding to your diet. What do you think, guys?
Its taste is much more intense than regular broccoli. Good fats. I'm a huge fan. What
I
do you
feel
think?
like I'm in Italy.
Yeah, it does
They eat
feel very Mediterranean.
It does.
Yeah, it has that strong taste, but not too heavy. Worth incorporating.
Where's
Give it a
the-
try.
There's some garlic in this, so now
Yes,
my
there is.
concern is my breath once again.
No
It all
more
gets
mouth-
back to the breath.
It all
No
goes back to
mouthwash.
the mouthwash, right?